Hey, what is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another edition of Lisa Renee TV. If you have not yet subscribed yet to the channel, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and make sure you hit the subscribe button before you leave the channel today. And thanks again for visiting the channel, of course. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Twitter, my Instagram should be in the box below. And make sure you to share the video on all your social media networks that you're on as well. Okay, so guys, welcome back, welcome back. Hey, what's up? Alrighty, so let's get right into the video. Okay, so as you guys know, I'm sure you've heard this story. It came out almost a week ago, a few days ago. So Charlie Sheen just announced that he unfortunately contracted HIV. So I watched his interview online on the Today Show with Matt Lauer. So he talked on the Today Show with Matt Lauer about um, what it was like for him when he first found out. So he initially found out actually 4 years ago. So I thought it was something he just found out, but apparently he's been living with HIV for the past 4 years already. So he revealed Matt Lauer on the Today Show, and he said it's a hard 3 letters for one to absorb. You know, he's 50 years old, and you know you can't imagine. Yeah, it is. You know, for anyone who is going through that, who has this illness. He said he was diagnosed 4 years ago. He first noticed something was wrong when he started sweating, that he would sweat his bed, like he would just be drenched. He would get like headaches, really, really bad headaches, insane migraines. So he had to be hospitalized one time. So he went to the hospital and he thought he had a brain tumor or something. And they tested him and they said, no, actually, you have HIV. So that's what he found out. He tried to keep the secret for 4 years. Apparently, he tried to keep it to himself. Didn't want to tell anybody. But then when he did start telling people who were close to him, who he thought were his friends and people he could trust, they started to extort him for money. So he actually paid off a few people. And so Matt Lauer asked him, well, how much money do you think you paid? He said, well, up in the millions. So he actually had to pay off people to try to keep it secret. I think it's horrible. I mean, you're already going through something. You know, I mean, HIV is a really huge thing. It's already, you know, a pretty huge burden in itself to bear. But then imagine having to pay off people just to keep them from extorting you, to keep people from, you know, putting your business out there. You know, I mean, that's a lot. That's really heavy, you know, to handle. You have to imagine. I mean, I can't even imagine what he went through, having to pay these people off who he thought were friends of his. So people extorted money from him to keep the secret. He said he has 5 kids and 1 granddaughter. So he's like, well, they think they're just taking money from me, but you're taking actually food out of my children's mouth and my granddaughter's mouth. So these are people that he trusted once and thought were helpful, but their trust turned into treason, as he put it. A prostitute once threatened to take a picture of his antiretroviral medicine that was in his bathroom cabinet. So she saw the medicine, and she basically got mad after he told her, okay, this is the last time we're going to see each other. And she got pissed off and said, well, you know, I'm going to take a picture of this, and I'm going to put it out there to the world. So I think he ended up like having to pay her money as well, just to keep her, you know, from doing that. So, says he says he has not transmitted the HIV to any of his partners that came after like the diagnosis, and he has had having sex with 2 people after the diagnosis, but said they wanted to care of his doctor and that they were fine, and he has not transmitted HIV to anybody. And so, and I was like, wow, because Matt Lauer like asked him directly, like, so have you told anybody? Have you ignored the phone? Have you transmitted? Sorry guys, have you transmitted this to anybody? And he's like, no. And Matt Lauer asked him directly, do you tell your partners when you get with anybody you got it with, do you tell them that you are, in fact, HIV positive? He says, yes, I tell all my partners I'm HIV positive. They know this going in, and they, you know, they're fine with it. And it's impossible for me to give anybody HIV. And I was like, excuse me. I'm like, what do you mean it's impossible? So the doctor came on in the interview too, and he talked. The doctor said that he was immediately after he was diagnosed, he was put on very strong antiretrovirals, and now I hope I'm saying that word right. If I'm not, please correct me, but I believe that is the correct word. And now he has an undetectable level of HIV in his bloodstream, and he cannot pass along the virus to others. And there's a low chance that he'll pass it along, especially if he's taking care and like using protection. And he takes about 4 pills a day. And even like, I know Charlie Sheen went through we all remember him. He was going through like this really crazy drug, alcohol, manic phase of his life. And maybe 3-4 years ago, when he was like winning, and he was making all the crazy videos. So he was, he had HIV then. He said even through those phases, he never missed a pill. And so I found that like to be like absolutely like that was like almost unfathomable. Like I was like, really? That was unequivocally amazing, and I said, well, thank God for that. Like only God can really bring you through something like that. Like what? So if in fact he's never missed a dosage, I mean, I'm hoping that he has not. He looks well, but I'm like, wow, so he's never missed a dosage. So his doctor says no, and his doctor said at the same time they're still kind of scared for him, because he has a history of drug and alcohol abuse, and addiction. So they are kind of scared, rightfully so, Yeah, so they are kind of closely monitoring him. Other than that, they're not too worried about the HIV because there was a rumor that he had AIDS. Doesn't have full blown AIDS. He just has HIV. So, his family knows about it. He just told his daughter, his oldest daughter. She, kind of broke down about it at first, but he said she took it well. When she kind of thought about it, she took it well. She's a strong girl. So and his ex-wives, they already knew about it, and they, kind of everybody seems like they're taking it all in stride, basically, is what he was saying. Everybody's just kind of dealing with it as well as they can deal with something like that. And they're like, okay, it's life as usual. They're just trying to make sure that he's as well as he can be. So. Wow, kudos to Charlie Sheen for being brave enough to come out of the story. So now he basically just wants to help other people. His purpose of coming out of the story is to not be buried under his truth, So basically his truth has set him free. He's like, I just want to come out here and, I want to be able to help other people. Not to be the poster boy for it, but just to come out and just, let me come out with my truth. Let me clear the rumors up. And it's going to set me free. I'm going to get some relief. I can live now. Hey, I'm free, and I'll speak on it in different platforms occasionally, So, and also he wanted to take the stigma out of having HIV. I think Charlie Sheen's a really huge celebrity, really well known. I think having his face on HIV it's bad that he has it. It's bad he has to deal with that, but it's really good. Like, don't you think? I mean, I think in essence, having someone's face, like his face, having him on HIV, I know Magic Johnson is like the most well-known person. We already had a big face on HIV. We kind of didn't need another one, unfortunately, but we got one. So I think you have this other face there aside from Magic Johnson, on HIV. It kind of it looks good for the community to help other people, and also just to kind of be like I think kind of like a PSA in a way for safe sex. Yeah. You gotta be careful. I mean, you never know what's out here. If you a person who's kind of wild and out there, and you're like, it's whatever. I'm just having a good time. Having a good time and not and just all it takes is one time of you not giving a damn, not about your life or not thinking or being too carefree. And then, like you said, it's a hard 3 letters for one to absorb. It really is, and those 3 letters can be the defining moment of your life. So you do not want to have to sit with yourself and let that sink in, and it's going to bury you. So you don't want that, I mean, you shouldn't have to deal with that. So, yeah. In other news, Laquan McDonald, the Laquan McDonald shooting happened in Chicago. I'm also going on CNN.com. So Laquan McDonald, 17-year-old, he was walking down Chicago street the night of October 20th, 2014, so just last year. Now, Chicago leaders are urging a calm before the releasing of his video. So a judge basically ordered the releasing of the cop, the dash cam video for him that showed his death, like showed the cop shot him 16 times. So they're supposed to release that video this Wednesday. So they're trying to, like, everybody trying to get the city ready, like, oh, y'all calm down. And they don't want it to be like in Ferguson, when it was like a big it was a bloodbath, and not even a bloodbath, like, but some people got hurt, so it was kind of bloody, but at the same time, it was just a lot of unrest is what it was, things got torn up, people got hurt, people got killed. It was just, it's horrible. It can lead to a bloodbath. It can lead to a lot of unruliness, and we don't want that here in Chicago. So a lot of people are really afraid. Like, a lot of citizens, a lot of leaders, and a lot of police spokespersons are really, like, oh my God, like, let's just calm things down here. So McDonald was 17 years old at the time. He was carrying a knife, a 4-inch knife, and he was behaving erratically. This is what the authorities said. So an officer told him to drop the knife, but he didn't listen, and the cop fired on him. They said he lunged at them or something like that, out of fear for his own life, according to the police union spokesman. That's why the cop fired on him, because he was in fear of his life. So on Thursday, a judge ordered that the dashboard cam was going to be released on Wednesday. So let's see. Okay, so the city has fought attempts to have the video released to the public, saying it could jeopardize any ongoing investigation. So they've been trying to fight it with the state attorney and everything, and it's been unsuccessful. So they actually ruled against it. I read the ruling on CNN.com. They're going to go ahead and release it regardless of what everybody's saying. Nobody cares. They're going to release the video anyway, like, whatever. So it's like, at this point, it's nothing that anybody can do, because the judge ruled on it, and so they're gonna go ahead and just go forth with it. As frustrating as it is. So Chicago is on the tipping point. We could be just like Ferguson said, Reverend Roosevelt Watkins, according to the CNN affiliate WLS. The officer who shot McDonald, Jason Van Dyke, has he's not been facing it. He hasn't faced any charges, and he still works for the police department in a limited duty position. Now, why are we not shocked? That was the same situation for Darren Wilson, who shot Mike Brown in Ferguson. Anybody shot about that, right? Did you not see that coming? Isn't it always like that? Okay. Daniel Hubert, Van Dyke's attorney, said McDonald punctured a tire on a police car, at which point Van Dyke confronted him. Mayor Rahm Emanuel, this is his quote, "Police officers are entrusted to uphold the law and to provide safety to our residents. In this case, unfortunately, it appears an officer violated that trust at every level." I thought that was an amazing quote. I thought that was really, really good to highlight that Mayor Emanuel actually spoke up and, he spoke out, and he actually stood up for his city, so I thought that was cool. And that he didn't take sides with the officers. I was almost surprised. I'm like, oh, okay, that was actually good. So kudos to Mr. Emanuel for doing that. I'm like, oh, you did something right. That was actually good. So, city has agreed to pay the boy's family. They're gonna pay McDonald's family $5 million, though his family never really filed a lawsuit, but they're gonna pay them $5 million anyway. I think this was very tragic and sad, just in general, just in every way imaginable. They're gonna release the video. It's a hard video to watch. I've seen, I think, like, a little bit of it. I haven't really seen the whole thing. I kind of don't want to see it, because, like, you want to see somebody die, like, get shot, be defenseless. They're getting shot 16 times. Apparently, they claim McDonald lunged at him, and from the record, like the coroner's record, the shots that he received were, like, in his back. He was walking away. So there's a discrepancy there. between the officer story and what really happened. They're like, no, seems that this young man was shot as he was leaving the scene, so he was walking away. So I'm like, what do you mean? How did he lunge at you? What really happened there? It kind of leads people to think, what really happened? Why? How did this boy die for real? What did you murder him? It's almost like it was an execution here, like you wanted him dead for some reason, you know. So, and of course, this is a black boy, and the officer's white. Of course, it's a big color thing, so you already know that one, right? I mean, that was a no-brainer. So that's just has everybody in an uproar. I mean, this just doesn't look good. This is exactly like the Mike Brown case. It's exactly what it is. Just this is the Mike Brown case all over again, Chicago style. I'm like, it really is like a war on black boys. I mean, this is what it looks like. It's just not looking too good here. So, and then this is like coming. So this is forthcoming. Like in a couple of days, they're gonna release this video, and everybody's on edge, like this is gonna tear Chicago apart. So they don't know what's gonna happen. They don't know like how people are gonna take it. They're gonna look at this video, they're gonna be pissed off. Some people already seen the video. Now there was a guy, a young black guy. He was talking on NBC News. I was watching earlier. He was saying that they're going to exercise their First Amendment right to protest, but it's going to be peaceful. That's what he says. Now he said they're going to be peaceful, but hey, let's just hope so. Now, CNN.com, they were saying they worried about outside, people coming in from outside cities and whatnot coming in to make things rowdy. So even if, your city say, well, let's protest in peace, y'all. And then you got these outsiders like, woo! We're gonna tear it up. We're gonna show them how we feel. And I'm like, no, that's what you don't need to do. Like, come on. It's unfortunate that he's passed on and he's been killed, in this unfortunate incident. But, more bloodshed don't help nobody. And there's a lot of destruction don't help nothing either. I mean, what was your point, So I just urge people to try to use your head here. Don't go running off thinking you going tearing up something and killing people and killing police and acting crazy and just being an ass, period. Thinking this is going to get your point across. It's not going to do anything, but you're going to tear up people's neighborhoods. You're going to cause more pain than you are good. So you're not really doing anything. You're just creating more calamity. This is already a mess, so why add to it? Stop it. Stop. It has to stop. You need some kind of peace so you come to some type of resolution. You're never going to reach one when you still, burning up stuff and throwing stuff and breaking stuff, destructing stuff, hurting people. I'm like, come on, just stop. It's too much chaos, So that's all I gotta say on that, okay? Now, make sure y'all like the video, share it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. You can also add me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, all that good stuff. The information will be in the more info box below. I hope you enjoyed the video. And you all have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. And I shall see you all probably next week, most likely. All right. Bye.